What the actual fuck?
Shit! Alex! Alex! Tornado! 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 Get up, girl! Get up, girl! Get up, girl! Larry!
Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahusha, Bahashim Rakakudash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakayer from the GMS Orlando camp. And tonight's lesson is going to be entitled, Jake is going to play until it's game over. All right, Jake is going to play until it's game over. All right, and tonight, I just want to bring this brief lesson, in regards to why the Lord has to bring forth his full brunt when it comes to judgment. All right, as the days go by, man, we see more and more why the Lord has to bring his full force of judgment, man, because these little scourges for amendment are not working for Jake, man. These little scourges of amendment, like these calamities, these tornadoes, these hurricanes, famine, all right, the MOTB being the infrastructure for the MOTB being set in place. These little scourges for amendment are not working for our people. They're not working for the majority of the world. So in order for our people to get it, they're just going to have to learn after death by pain, man. All right, the Lord is going to have to bring forth his full brunt of judgment. All right, tonight's lesson is based off of, some things I've been seeing in my personal life, while I'm at the plantation, dealing with this hurricane here in Florida. And, the videos that played at the beginning of this lesson, man. All right, Jake is in the middle of a hurricane, all right, middle of a flood, playing, having fun, like the Lord didn't just send forth his judgment, man. All right, people are supposed to be asking questions. When these calamities come upon the earth, you're supposed to ask questions. You're supposed to inquire why these things are happening, how you're going to get out of these things. You're supposed to ask questions, man. And upon asking questions, the Lord will start to sup with you, man. But for the majority of people on the earth, especially you Israelites, man, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians, you don't ask no questions, man. You don't wonder why these things are happening and happening at a more frequent basis in your community. You just go with the flow. You just go with the flow, man. And that's why the scriptures say the whole head is sick, even from the head down to the foot. The whole body of the nation of Israel is sick, man. And they don't take the Lord seriously. They don't take his judgment seriously, man. Which is why the Lord going to have to come with his full force. Because if he don't, these people will continue to play and continue to disrespect Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. And it's not only these 2/3 Jakes, man. It's even Jakes that know they Israelites, man. Still playing with the name of our power. Still playing with the prophecies that the Lord set in place. Still playing, man. Everybody, all these Jakes love playing, man. It's like they don't get enough. That's why the Lord has to come. He has to come forward with his full judgment, because if he doesn't, Jake will never learn, man. All right, let's get Let's get this actually in second Esdras. It'd actually be quick if I just look it up right here. This is second Esdras 16, verse 19. 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of great mournings, the beginning of famine. Brakatah Yahweh Shemi Avshai. Salaki. Let me read that again. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? All right, and right now what we're seeing is just the beginning of evils, man. All right, this Hurricane Ian devastated southwest Florida. All right, and this is just the beginning. All right, famines the famines that have been engineered by these elites. This is just the beginning. The wars and rumors of wars. This is just the beginning. The MOTB infrastructure. This is just the beginning. Everything that we're experiencing in the earth right now is just the beginning, and people are bugging out just off the beginning. The Lord is causing mass casualties just in the beginning of sorrows. How much more when the full brunt of judgment comes, man? It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All these things are sent upon the earth as scourges for amendment. You're supposed to see these things, experience these things, go through these things, and ask questions. Why is this happening to us? Why is this happening to me? Why is my community the only community that seems to be affected by these calamities, that seems to be affected by these different mandates, that seems to be affected by society at whole, man? Society at large. Why? Why does it seem like we're a cursed people? And upon asking these questions, the Lord will start to sup with you, man, and give you the answers through his servants, the prophets, man. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And this Hurricane Ian was sent as a scourge for amendment. Because as a personal testimony, I've seen how it has devastated Jake, mainly Jake. Flooded their homes, burnt their homes down. Trees toppled their houses. Trees toppled people. I've seen it, man. Mainly Jake. But for all these things, what does it say? But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Even though the Lord is sending these calamities, man, he's sending these great judgments, these sore judgments. They ain't going to turn from their way. They ain't going to mend their ways. They're not going to turn from the ways of wickedness, man. Which is why it says in 2 Esdras, the 9th chapter, in the 9th verse, then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, while they yet had liberty, and yet a place was and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. All right? They're just going to have to, their ways just going to have to be amended after death, man. And that's really mercy for the majority of our people, man. It's a mercy killing. All right, the scriptures speak about in the book of Sirach, all right, the 30th chapter and the 17th verse, that death is better than continual sickness, man. Death is better than continual sickness, and our people are sick, man. They sick. And they don't want to get right, man. And the only way for them to get right is for the Lord to put them to death. Which is why you have to understand judgment, man. As we grow, and experience more in this truth, you have to understand the Lord's judgment, man. You have to understand how the Lord judges and why the Lord judges. Because in the up and coming days, when the Lord starts to truly judge, and if you don't understand judgment, you're going to be offended, man. There's a reason why the Lord going to kill off thousands, millions of Jakes. It's a reason. They had to go, man. They just had to go. And if you don't understand that, you're going to be offended. And if you're offended, then you possibly can offend the Lord, man. You possibly could come up with a defense against the Lord, man. And we don't want to be on the wrong side of judgment when the Lord starts to really bring down that hammer, man. But let me get these precepts. I just had a couple tonight. Lord willing, this is edifying unto you elect, man. All right, Jake is gonna play until it's game over, man. All right, we approaching the end of this game. The Lord is serious, man. The Lord is serious, man. He not playing with now one of us. He's so serious. And this is just the beginning of what the Lord has in store for the earth. And whilst yet these people are hopeless when the Lord starts to bring forth this judgment, all right, we have to remember as well, man, that the Lord gave us hope. And I can't stress it enough. It's very important that we understand this point now. It's very important for us to understand the Lord's judgment. It's very important for us to understand our place in judgment. It's very important for us to understand, all right, our hope within the judgment. Because it's coming. And the Lord ain't playing, man. This is Zephaniah 3 and verse 5. It says, the just Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring forth in his judgment the light. He faileth not. But the unjust knoweth no shame. All right, let's get this. In Psalms chapter 9 and verse 16, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed, man. All right, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the works of his own hands, Higion Salah. All right, the Lord is known through his judgment. And right now, the world don't know the Lord. They don't know Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Even some people who know they're Israelites, they don't know the Lord, man. Because if they did, they'll move a certain way. They'll act a certain way. They'll preach a certain doctrine. It's certain actions that come behind knowing the Lord, man. They'll put forth works. They'll do the work. They'll feed the sheep. It's certain things that you'll do. It's a certain way that you'll act. The scriptures speak about having that holy conversation, that hagnos anastrophe. All right. In the book of 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. It's certain actions that come behind knowing the Lord, man. And if you know the Lord, you know that the Lord is known through his judgment. And that the Lord is a man of war, pursuant to Exodus 3 and 15. And that he ain't playing, man. He never has. He never has. The Lord is known by his judgment, which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higion Salah. All right, let's get this. In Sirach or Ecclesiastes 36 and verse 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, have mercy upon us, O Lord, power of all, and behold us. And send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee, man. All right. And the Lord's going to send his fear upon all these nations that don't seek after him, that don't know him. All right. And that includes 2/3 of the nation of Israel. The Lord is going to send his fear upon those who seek not after him. And what is the fear of the Lord? Death, destruction, calamity. The book of Job, the 34th chapter, says that if the Lord took his spirit away, all flesh should perish. That's the type of power we're dealing with. If he was to take away his spirit, everything would perish. And the world is getting ready to know the Lord on a personal level. Right now, it's not too personal. You know, Jake has got it misconstrued. You know, social media has done a number on our people. You know, Esau Edom has done a number through the social media ideal, you know, by giving these people a false hope and a false ideology of what reality truly is. Because reality is personal, and a lot of these judgments haven't been personal to Jake. That's why they don't really take it serious. It's like any disease, right? You ever heard, oh, cancer is so bad, or scoliosis is so bad? You know, when you see these cases and you hear about it, you don't really give a fuck, because it ain't happening to you and nobody you know have it. But when somebody you know catch it, or you catch it, that's when you start to advocate for that cause. Likewise, judgment. When judgment start to happen to auntie and uncle and them, mama and them, daddy and them, that's when it's going to get personal. That's when they're going to be advocates for the Lord, and it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late, and we approaching that time where it's going to be too late. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7. And verse 42, it says, he answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, and temperance is at an end, and fidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. And we've been telling these people, all right, starting from our elders, apostles, of Great Millstone on down, all right, that the day of doom is going to be the end of this time, and we're speedily approaching the day of doom. All right, but what are the people of this generation likened unto? All right, this is Luke 7 and verse 31. And the Lord said, whereunto shall I liken the men of this generation, and what are they like? They are like unto children sitting in the marketplace, and calling one to another, and saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced. We have mourned to you, and ye have not wept. All right, these people are likened unto children playing in the marketplace, and we piping to them week in, week out, day in and day out, giving a sure sound of the trumpet, letting them know what's exactly going to happen according to prophecy in the earth. But they like children playing. They don't want to hear the words of the Lord. But like it says in Ezekiel 33 and 33, when these things come to pass, lo, they will come. Then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. But it's going to be too late at that point, man. You know, we telling you through the Spirit, man, the day of doom is approaching. It's serious, man. The Lord is serious. But Jake going to play until the game over. The Lord ain't playing, man. All right? Hey, the elder apostle Ramlaw went into a beautiful masterclass, all right, on that fact. You know, the Lord ain't playing. And we can sit here, we can scream it to you. We can give it to you gently. We can give it to you lightly. But unless you're fully convinced in your mind, you know, it ain't going to stir you to repentance. But through the Spirit, man, right now is the time to get it. Because if you don't get it, you're going to be gone. And if you play this game, the Lord going to end you, man. It's game over. The Lord is not playing, man. This is deadly serious what we're involved in. You know? Through the Spirit, man, we're fighting for our salvation on a daily basis. And as things continue to get worse in here in these latter days, you have to understand judgment, and you have to understand the hope that we do have in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know, but I just want to bring out these, you know, this quick lesson, you know, through the Spirit, Lord, when it's edifying unto you, like, you know, Jake gonna play till this game over. Don't be that. Get out the game now. All right, start to live in reality. Start to deal with reality. All right, which is dealing with our power, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Deal with these prophecies, man. Hop out the matrix. hop out the matrix, man, into reality. Because the Lord getting ready to get busy real soon. But, as the Lord gets busy, always remember, man, always remember that there is hope for the Lord's elect. And we very well could be accounted of that number, Lord willing. But with that being said, shalom. Stay up.